Howdy, partners. I'm Lord Troldemort, and welcome back to the Wild Wild West. This is episode 3 of our crazy quest to get Dutch to Tahiti in under 100 days in Red Dead Redemption 2. We're on day 18, and let me tell you, it's been a rootin' tootin' adventure so far. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, go check them out, and if you're new here, saddle up and join the ride by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss any of our future Wild West escapades. With that, let's get right into the adventure. So picking up at day 18, you might be asking yourself, just what happened today? Well, it was a day full of actions, laughs, and some good old frontier justice. We start off with our first visit to the charming little town of Valentine. Now, Valentine might look like a quaint little area, but don't let its looks fool you. It's like a box of chocolates, and you never know what you're gonna get. Spoiler, today we got a dude in the pajamas and some real rowdy O'Driscolls. As soon as we rolled into town, I could smell trouble. Or it might have just been Uncle. Anyway, we made our grand entrance, and then we headed straight to the hotel. But hold your horses, this wasn't a nice relaxing visit for bath or some good night's sleep. Oh no, folks, this is where things are going to get interesting. We came in here to make sure our lady friend wasn't in any trouble and that she was making some money. But what we ended up finding was a wild pajama-wearing man who didn't want to pay for his horary. If you want to partake in the supple offerings of the flesh that we have, you better have the doubloons to back it up. And just like that, we found our culprit. A dirty ne'er-do-well who refuses to pay for what he's already taken. He's gonna come right at me, too. Seriously, who fights in their pajamas? I gotta say, nothing screams I'm a tough cowboy like beating up a boy in his bedtime attire. It's like a pillow fight, but with fists. After that little dust-up, we make our way back outside, where we've got some more trouble to get into. And wouldn't you know it, there's some dirty O'Driscolls talking shit in the street. I'm feeling real confident off of that last ass-whooping. Beating up a man in his underwear makes you feel good, so I think I can take all of them at once. These boys end up being a bit tougher than I thought, and one of them even busted out the brass knuckles. This looks like it's gonna be quite a fight. And it might have been that I bit off a little more than I could chew. I wake up, a little bit unwary of where I am, but ready to get back into the action. First thing I see is a man beating up on a lady, and as an honorable cowboy, I cannot stand for this. It seems like we're just going to get in a fight with everyone in town, but that's alright. Ooh! A brutal headbutt sends him to the ground. We'll take what he got in his pockets, just as recompense for the trouble. I guess it's never really a visit to Valentine without a little bit of a dust-up. After leaving the woman abusers to lick their wounds, it was time for a change of pace. Hosea had a brilliant idea to go hunting, and by brilliant, I mean he wanted to get away from all the chaos that we just caused. So off we headed into the wilderness abound. Now, hunting with Hosea is always a treat. He's like a wise old mentor, but with a gun. We tracked down some deer, had a few deep conversations, and even shared a laugh or two. It's moments like these that make you forget you're a wanted outlaw. After a bit of reminiscing and a stop off at the stables, I found myself with a new horse, and decided to give it a loving name. After getting rid of the old horse and seeing that there weren't many choices in the stables, we bought what we could, and we went ahead and named the new steed Pickles. Remembrance of my trusty rust horse, Pickles. Now it's time to make our way out of the stables, up the mountains, and into the land where we can find our quarry. Not sure what we want to be hunting for today, but I think Hosea's got it all planned out for us. It looks like the stable master's got a grooming brush and some treats for our horse today. What a nice feller. You look after me and I'll look after you, pal. Hosea might not agree with our choice, but he also didn't see the selection that we had to choose from. Not much, but we got what we could. And I think it looks like a pretty good horse, if you ask me. We're going to strap on our horseshoes and set out into the wild night. Looks like the moon is already up and the sun's down, which means another day has passed, bringing us to day 19 of our adventure. I guess evening 18. The morning will come before too long, though. But before it does, it looks like we have a nice, peaceful ride ahead of us. And it looks like we've sniffed out the trail of what Hosea's got us here hunting. Supposedly, it's one of the biggest bear he's ever seen. We'll trample that poor little bunny rat and take it on foot from here, I think. But since we killed one of the bunnies, we may as well kill the rest. I'd hate to separate a family. Poor little things, be together. Now we'll test out our interesting skinning method. Grab it by the asshole and rip, and it just comes off. Easy as that. We'll stick it in the bag for later. Never know when you might need that. A little bit of rabbit meat, and we even got a little rabbit to bring back to Pearson. All right, Pickles, let's move on. I think old Hosea is waiting for us. Looks like we're going to be setting up camp for the night. Perfect opportunity to cook up some of this meat and have a nice relaxing evening. Enjoy the stars and think about where we've been in our journey.
I'm famished. Cook that rabbit then. They're delicious on an open fire.
After some rabbit stew and some spooky stories by the campfire, we're ready to move on to our real query. We didn't come out here to hunt little varmints and rabbits. We came out here for one of the biggest bears Hosea's ever seen. No, I love the horse, Hosea. We do a bit of reminiscing about old flames. Hosea tells me about the woman that he misses, and we find ourselves back in the mountains that we just not too long ago escaped from. Luckily, the weather's changed a bit, and it's not covered in snow anymore. It's a much more hospital temperament, and it looks like it's going to be a wonderful hunt as well.
I remember you not being around for a while, but things were looser back then.
Truth is,
I always loved it when women were looser.
it's hard. You know that. But Bessie and I made it work.
I couldn't get out of this life if I tried, Hosea.
And we can make enough money to go someplace new. Really new. Maybe we can all have a new start.
New start's what I need in this life. After picking up the scent and following it for a while, it looks like we're ready to bait. And everybody knows that I am a masturbator. What? Anyway, moving on. It seems like Hosea wants us to masturbate all over the ground in order to find this bear. I think it's a wonderful idea. Now let's get to it. The first step and the most important thing when you're baiting like a master is you want to get a big handful of meat. Once you have your handful of meat, make sure that no one's looking. It's best to be touching your meat in private. Stir it up a bit, and then before you know it, you'll have your quarry. Better be quick on the draw if you're going after a bear like this. Looks like we scared him off, but we couldn't quite finish him. Let's make sure old Hosea is doing okay. Seems he's a bit beat up about the whole ordeal, and he's just ready to head back to camp. I think I am too. And after a successful hunt, let's get on the road. Feeling pretty accomplished, Dutch is out there waiting for us, probably still dreaming about Tahiti. I gotta say, folks, if we keep having days like this, we might just make it to Tahiti before you know it. Or at least we'll have some great stories to tell around the campfire. Dutch gave us his usual pep talk on everything's gonna be fine and Tahiti's just around the corner. I swear, one of these days I'm gonna buy him a map and show him just how far Tahiti really is, but hey, a man's got a dream, right? So there you have it, folks. Day 18 was a wild ride, from beating up pajama-wearing men to fighting O'Driscolls and getting our ass whooped. Ending the day with a peaceful hunting trip with Hosea. It's just the end of day 19, and I can't wait to see what the rest of these 81 days have in store for us. Before we wrap up, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting this crazy journey. Your comments and likes keep us going, and I love hearing from all of you. What was your favorite part of today's episode? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more Red Dead Redemption 2 adventures. Don't forget to ring that bell so you'll be notified the next time we post. Until next time, keep your boots off the ground, keep your aim true. This is Lord Troldemort, signing off.